Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 98 million miles is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms are so amazingly primitive that they still think that digital watches are a pretty neat idea. This planet has, or rather had, a problem, which was this. Most of the people living on it were unhappy for pretty much most of the time. Many solutions were suggested for this problem, but most of these were largely concerned with the movements of small green pieces of paper. Which is odd, because on the whole, it wasn't the small green pieces of paper that were unhappy, if you know what I mean. And so the problem remained. Lots of people were mean, and most of them were miserable. Even the ones with digital watches. Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. And some of them said that even the trees had been a bad move, and that no one should have ever left the oceans. And then, one Thursday, nearly 2,000 years after one man had been nailed to a tree for saying how great it would be to be nice to people for a change, a girl sitting on her own in a small cafe in Rickmansworth suddenly realized it was that had been going wrong all this time. And she finally knew how the world could be made a good and happy place. This time it was right. It would work. And no one would have to get nailed to anything. Sadly, however, before she could get a phone to tell anyone about it, a terrible, stupid catastrophe occurred, and the idea was lost forever. This was not her story, but is the story of that terrible, stupid catastrophe and some of its consequences. It's also the story of a book called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, baby. Not an Earth book, never published on Earth, and until the terrible catastrophe occurred, never seen, even heard of by any Earthman. Nevertheless, a wholly unremarkable and remarkable book.